Hello again, everyone, and welcome back again for another video. We're going to get a little bit more nerdy today than usual. Today, what we're going to talk about is editing CSS templates. And what I'm going to focus on today is PhPBB bulletin boards and people that would maybe want to style their bulletin board system if they have a forum that they own or whatever. I happen to have one of my own, and I've done the styling for years. But PHP and forums in general are kind of a dying breed. You don't really see too many of them anymore. And because of that, not too many people are out there making the effort to style a forum and making it available for download. So you either have to know CSS and do it yourself, or you'd have to hire somebody to do this if you are a forum owner. And it's honestly not that hard, and that's actually what we're going to talk about today. So, what I want to show you today is a program that you can use that makes the job a little bit easier to understand for even a beginner, and how you can implement this on your own website to change your own website or your own forum to make it look how you want it to look. Now, if you're looking at the screen here and you see this forum in the background here, you can notice it's a darker colored PhPBB forum, of course, in the administration panel. What this is, excuse me, I'm at try-phpbb.com /33x is where you can log in and go to the administration control panel and test out all this stuff, test out all kinds of features and stuff on a forum. Now, what I'm using is a hold on here. Oh, it's right there. What I'm using is a program called Magic CSS. It's a web browser extension that you can get for Chrome or you can get for Firefox or whatever. I think there's one for Edge even. I think Safari might even have one if you're on a Mac. But what this will allow you to do is actually take CSS and edit it for your own needs. Just look for Magic CSS in Google, and that should lead you right to it for whatever browser you're using. But anyways, getting back to this, like I said, we're talking about PhPBB today. How I got this to look this way, like I said, was I created my own color scheme in a style sheet. Now let me go ahead and pop that up on the screen here in the Magic CSS extension here in my web browser, and we can see kind of the colors that I used on here. Now, if this kind of looks confusing, actually, let me expand this just a little bit more. Maybe we can see this just a little bit better. You see these little boxes right here? These indicate different colors that are going on in the form. Like right here, we can see all these dark ones, which will indicate dark areas. And here's the color code 2A1920 is what kind of gives us this kind of like a really dark reddish, almost like a purplish background. That's the color code I used for that. And the E8, E6, 8A code that you see there is what gives us the yellow that you see in the form. Now, if we change different aspects of this, we can get different colors. For instance, let's find one that would be very apparent right offhand here. Black ground, linear gradients to bottom, FF. Let's see. Let's change this one here. Let's see. That one's noticeable anywhere. Not right offhand. Nope. Let's take that back. I want to find one that's going to be really apparent right offhand here. Tab border color. Nope. Hold on here. So this is kind of like a little hunt and peck game, honestly. When you're doing this, let me hunt and peck and find. There we go. There's my first one that I wanted to show you that I can find for you. You can see that it's called background linear gradient to bottom. Now, you'll see two different color codes of the same thing here. What that is a gradient tone, so you can make a gradient fill. Like right here, here's the percentage, 0%, to 100% on your fill. Now, if I wanted to, I could change this color. Uh, I don't have my line showing here. Let me do something here. Hopefully I can find that. I want it to show my line so I can show you this. Here I am trying to teach you something here. Let's see. Show line numbers. There we go. All right. Line right here. Is that what it was? I think. Yep. All right. Line 367 in our code is what modifies this right up here that you see changing to a red. If I hit Control Z, it'll back up and go to that black that I have it at. Now, if I take all this code, one second here, Shift, and then we'll go page down, delete, it goes back to normal. And this is actually what the standard PhPBB installation looks like. Let's go ahead and go back to the board index here. And get on with the tutorial here instead of me dinking around there and showing you those cool colors. So here we are at the main forum site here, and maybe you'll actually learn something now. Sorry guys, I just had to show you that example. I know I really suck at teaching, but you know, I like to belabor the point, follow along. If you'll, with my ramblings, you'll actually do a better job than I do, and you'll do this quickly. Anyways, what I'm using is something called colors.css, and you can find that in your PhPBB installation when you download it. Here's the zip file for the latest PhPBB 3.3.5. You're going to find it under Styles Pro Silver Theme. You'll actually find this under any theme that you download. Is a file called colors.css. But if you go down into that folder, into the Pro Silver theme folder, and open up colors.css into an editor. Now, what I use, of course, is Notepad++. I think it's the best overall editor there is around. I mean, I've used it for years. I mean, if you want, you can go ahead and open this up in Notepad too, as far as that goes. You don't have to download Notepad++. I think it just makes it easier using a code editor. But yeah, you will want to have a code editor. I guess you don't have to, but it helps. But yeah, you're going to open up colors.css in Notepad here, and we're just going to take it and we're going to edit, and we're going to select all and copy it. And then we're going to go back to the website there, the tryphpbb.com, and we're going to go ahead and open up Magic CSS in here, and we're just going to right-click, paste, and you know it's working because you see how that little banner right there disappeared. If we click this button right here, this turns it on and off, activates it and deactivates it. See right there? So when this disappears, we know that this is active. Now what we could do is we can do that hunt and peck that I was showing you before. Now it's kind of hard to determine, so what I would do, honestly, is stick with one color at a time if you're just starting out on this. If you understand what all this stuff is, you can go ahead and just start modifying on its own, like here's the pull bars and stuff like that. But if you don't understand, it's kind of a hunt and research type thing here. Let's see if we can find something, probably starting at the top here, that would probably be easiest right from the start. HTML body, background color white. Let's see. We can take this and we can click on it, and we could just click anywhere here and see how it changed color. See how this went to a white color? So now we know that HTML body, background color, this is going to affect that. So now we need to figure out what color we're going to use. So there's a variety of ways to do that. I'm sure there's websites that have like color pickers and stuff like that. Myself, what I use is just simply Paint Shop Pro. I mean, I own, one second here. Let me drag it down over here. I own Adobe Photoshop. Well, my daughter does, I guess I should say. So I do have Photoshop on here. And I also have Adobe, anyway, Illustrator and all that. We have a subscription. We have like everything. But funnily enough, I actually use Paint Shop Pro primarily because I've used it for years and it's just easier to work with. But usually what I'll do is I'll just start like a new, hold on here. I just start like a new little thing and maybe make it like 50 by 50 pixels. And I just kind of use that as my little template up here when I'm picking my colors. Sorry, I have it all in a different window up there. When I'm picking my colors. And that's what I use to pick my colors. And this gives me the color code right here under HTML. So for instance, let's say I want this color. I can see that it's FD3FFF, whatever that is. I can just right click it and copy it if I want. And then go back here to the CSS editor. And we can go back to that same spot there where we were playing around with that and paste that. There we go. Was that the one? No, it wasn't, was it? No, I didn't paste it, did I? Hold on. I suck at copy and paste. I don't know. I think it's because I'm getting older. My hands don't. There we go. So I've pasted that new color that we looked at here under Jazz Paint Shop Pro. Like I said, you can use whatever you want to get the colors that you want. Now, one second here. Let me Control Z that. Go back to its original color. Now, this is what it originally was on the forum, the F5, F7, and FA. So what I can do if I want to, let's say I'm lazy about this and I want to find everything that's the same color in this document and change that all to that purple color. What I can do is I could just copy this, copy, and then I can open up my editor, under my colors CSS editor, and I can go search and replace. And let me bring it down here. Sorry, like I said, it's actually up in a different window, so it keeps popping up in a different screen on me here. Find what, and there's that code for that white color background, and we can change that to whatever we want. Let's change it to let's see, what's going to stick out here? Green. And the color code for green is actually 00FF00. So we'll replace the color code green, and we're going to tell it to replace all. It was just one occurrence. That was a bad example because I thought there would be more occurrences than that. Let's find some. Oh, here's a good one, the FFFFs. One second here. We'll find the FFFFFF, replace all. There we go, 39 occurrences. Click close. Now if we go edit, select all, copy that, and then go right back to our browser. And I actually need to dump this. Hold on here. Shift page down, delete, Control V. Paste that all in there. Everything that was marked as white is now a green, and we can actually take this one second here. Let me resize this here, bring it down so you can have a look. Now if we start searching the forum, we'll notice anything that had the color code of white in it is now green. Now the advantage of doing this all at once is we know what areas to focus on that are going to be white instead of like hunting down the color code. Like, look at this right here. This here looks a little white right there. This is probably the FAF, whatever, some other shade of white, but it's not the complete FFFFF color code, if you get what I'm saying. If not, no, then go back to your video game, kid. Anyway, so that's basically what we're doing, is we're kind of doing a hunt and peck for matching codes at first, and that's a good way for like a beginner to do it. It doesn't get as exact on the colors, but you can always go back. Sorry, here, let me open up our style sheet thing. You can always go back there to all those spots that you now know are green and individually change those to make different changes, like this one here, H1, which is probably like another background. I can go ahead and change that to say red, which is FF0000. There it is. I'm sorry, your domain name. So we see that H1 controls the color of our domain name, right? So we can go ahead and change that to whatever color we want. Now, I wouldn't recommend, if it's a color that you want to make it into an exact color, don't use a basic color like red, green, or blue as a permanent color. I use FF0000, which is red, 00FF00, which is green, 0000FF, which is blue. If you're a nerd, you know exactly what the hell I'm talking about. Anyways, that's what I use just for marking. If it's something that's going to be a permanent on my form, I'm actually going to change that color to the color that I want first of all, because then I know I'm not going to accidentally change it, like if I'm doing like a mass color change on something, like how you see how I change everything that was all white into this green. If I wanted that to be white in the end and I changed it to white, I might mix up when I'm doing find and replace. I'm just saying. When you're doing code. Hopefully I'm making sense to you. Anyways, let's carry on here. So, like I said, now that we have everything that was white, green, it kind of gives us a better idea of where to focus when we're changing the aspects of our forum. So like I said, we found their color up here, which is red, and that was this right here, the H1. So we can go ahead and let's say that's going to be our permanent, and we know what that is. I'm going to change that to a color that is, like I said, going to be part of, like, say, a new form that I want to create. Let's say I do want that red, and I like that red. Let's find like maybe a different shade of that red here that kind of works a little bit better. We can go into here and see how we can change our tones, or maybe you have one that's all pre-picked out and installed. It doesn't matter really, but pick something that's opposite of, like I said, the basic colors. That way you don't accidentally change it. So here it is. This is red. So now this is going to be permanently red, and we can move on to our next boundary on the here that's green, that we know that we can change, and we can go ahead and just take our slider here, see what changes. If we don't see nothing, that's okay. That means it's probably something that's on a different page. So it's something we could probably come back to. So let's go ahead and take our keyboard and press Control Z and put it back the way it was. And let's see if we can find where this was here, this HR. Let's go ahead and back up another page to this and go ahead and open up that editor again, and it should load up. Now try to remember your spot too, because I forgot to mention when you're using the Magic CSS, try to remember your spot on what number that you're at. That's kind of important, because when you close that and reopen it, like you see that I did, it'll actually start at the top again. And here, just to show you that, let me go down to the bottom here, and I'll go to the board index thing here and see how that closed. Now if I back up, it's back up there again, but I have to reopen it. But anyways, so now that we're at a different section, let's go right back up to the top there again. And let's see if we can find that color again and take the slider, slide it over again, see if anything happens. Nope, nothing happened there. Let's Control Z that, take that back. Let's try this one. There it is. There's our background color. Now, let's say we focused in on this one. We want to change our background. Let's do like a, I don't know, gray, F0, F0, F0. Or maybe that's 0F, 0F, 0F. There we go. There's the black. It all depends. You can actually go, I don't know, 0, B0, B. There we go. Give it kind of like a little baby blue color there. Let's say we want to go way off and go red. We can go red here. But like I said, you don't want to go all the way red. Maybe take it back a little bit. And there's that color. And then we can go and do the same thing. Try to find this color. Nope, didn't see nothing change. Try not to hit that same color you just changed it to. That's why I kind of like to use the green. I don't see nothing going on there. Control Z. So I'm guessing we're looking for like this right here, this right here. But anyways, yeah, it's pretty much that's what you're gonna do is you're gonna hunt and peck. There we go. There's our top one right there. We can change this. Let's change that to white. Now let's change it to something else. Let's change it to like a deep red. No, like a deep blue. There we go. Maybe like a light blue. Now that looks like crap. Purple. There. But yeah, hopefully you get the idea. But anyways, let's just shut this off. See that? You can see the changes we've made. But anyways, so what we do then is after we've made all the changes that we wanted to make and played around with this, all that we wanted to play around, we want to go ahead and copy all this. You know, whatever works for you. Copy that. Open up your editor. I'd actually start a new one. And go ahead and paste that in there. And save it as your colors CSS and then upload it to your forum. Now, back up your old one first in case you screwed this up. But yeah, it's pretty safe to do though. You can't really screw it up too much. And as long as you've backed it up, you're not really going to harm your board too much by doing this. But yeah, I mean, I'm sorry if I'm not explaining things well. I don't usually do tutorials when it comes to like code or most things like that. But I recently renewed a board that I used to own years ago, and I was there looking at some of the old code, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to totally rewrite all this stuff. And so I thought, yes, I went and looked in the styles database for PhPBB, and I noticed that there's not many styles now if you're a forum owner. So, I mean, if you want one, you have to make one yourself. And there's not really that many tutorials out there, and I kind of wanted to do a video out there and show people how to do it. It's actually not that hard, especially when it comes to the CSS. When it comes to editing templates, that might be a little more advanced for some people. CSS editing, I think, is something that's pretty easy to learn. I'm just probably not the guy to teach you, but I will talk about it a little bit and kind of point you in the right direction here of what you need to do and what you can play around with. PhPBB is one of those easy ones because I've used it for years. But yeah, my advice is if you want to customize your forum, would just be to download Magic CSS in whatever web browser you have. Go to a site like this and just play with the template until you get what you want. This lets you, like I said, log in as administrator, so you can actually go around here and adjust all the stuff in here, even everything in the admin panel. You can see this. Here's a different color. Like I said, I could just take this. Oops. I guess I have to open up, well, no, never mind, I already closed it up. But yeah, I could open up my code editor and open up the admin CSS and colorize this as well. So it's actually pretty simple. That's going to be it for this video, guys. Hopefully you learned something. Maybe I confused you more. I got several computers I want to do. I really, really want to get to my daughter's first. I was thinking maybe I'll put hers on the back burner just so I could put out some content. I kind of want to do a hackintosh. There's probably like 2 of them that I could do that I wanted to talk about. One's pretty much done, but anyways, so that's going to be it for this video, guys. Again, the program is called Magic CSS, and that's for you a little more advanced nerders out there who are a little bit beyond the just building computers, but are into the coding just a little bit. We'll get into that just a hair. I don't like to get into that too much because I'm terrible at explaining stuff. Good at doing it, terrible at explaining. But that's going to be it. I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.